What would you do if you found out that your fiancé was having an affair with a coworker? Would you confront them, break up with them, or forgive them? Or would you kill them? That's what one woman did in a twisted tale of love, betrayal, and murder. This is the story of Avis Banks, the pregnant bride-to-be who was brutally killed by her fiancé's mistress. Avis Banks was a 27-year-old daycare worker who lived in Ridgeland, Mississippi. She was engaged to Keyon Pittman, a 31-year-old teacher and basketball coach at Chastain Middle School. Avis was 5 months pregnant with their first child, and they were planning to get married in 2 months. But what Avis didn't know was that Keyon was cheating on her with another teacher at the same school, Carla Hughes. Carla was a 25-year-old language arts teacher who had a crush on Keyon since they met in August 2006. They started a secret affair that soon became an obsession for Carla. Carla wanted Keyon to leave Avis and marry her instead. She even introduced him to her friends as her future husband. But Keyon didn't take their relationship seriously. He said it was just a sexual adventure that had no future. He also claimed that he loved Avis and wanted to be with her and their baby. Carla didn't accept that. She became jealous and possessive of Keyon. She started stalking him and Avis and threatened to expose their affair to Avis. She also told Keyon that she was pregnant with his child, but he didn't believe her. On November 29, 2006, Carla decided to take matters into her own hands. She borrowed a knife and a gun from her cousin Patrick Nash and drove to Avis and Keyon's house. She waited for Avis to come home from work and ambushed her in the garage. She shot Avis 4 times in the leg, chest, and head. She then stabbed her 3 times in the face and neck and slashed her throat. She also tried to make it look like a sexual assault by pulling down Avis' pants. She then ransacked the house to make it look like a robbery gone wrong. She left behind a shoe print on a glass door, which would later link her to the crime scene. She also returned the gun to her cousin unloaded, which raised his suspicion. Keyon came home around 8:45 p.m. and found Avis's body in the garage. He called 911 and pretended to be shocked and devastated. But the police soon discovered his affair with Carla and questioned both of them. Carla initially denied any involvement in the murder, but the evidence against her was overwhelming. Her cousin testified against her, and so did some of her students who witnessed her passing notes to Keyon during school hours.
The jury took in every word and kept their eyes glued to Carla Hughes and Keyon Pittman while Keyon told about their 4-month love affair. Carla showed no facial expression, but sometimes whispered to her attorney and took notes while Keyon talked about their love affair. Keyon Pittman testified he and Carla Hughes met at Chastain Middle School in August 2006, just 1 month after he and his fiancée Avis Banks found out they were expecting a baby. Keyon says his and Carla's relationship quickly turned romantic. He says it all started when he went to Carla's apartment one day in August. He says they had sex and referred to their 4-month affair as a sexual adventure. Meanwhile, Avis Banks' family filled the courtroom, many times cringing and gasping at the details of the affair. At one point during the testimony, he admitted to playing a role in Avis's death.
Mr. Pittman, did you kill Avis Banks?
No.
Do you feel any responsibility for her death?
Yes.
Tell me how.
If I would have stayed faithful to who I was with, if I had been thinking poorly, making bad choices, or made a bad choice.
The police also found out that Carla had lied about being pregnant with Keyon's child. She had faked a pregnancy test by using someone else's urine. Carla was arrested and charged with 2 counts of capital
Keyon
murder.
Pittman also testified
One for
about the
Avis
night he
and one
came
for her
home to
unborn
Avis
child.
Avis
She went on trial in 2010
found that she had been
and
murdered.
pleaded
He said
not
he
guilty.
opened up the garage
The prosecution
door and saw her
argued that Carla killed
body
Avis
laying
out
there
of
in the
jealousy
garage. He
and
said he
rage,
ran up
hoping
to her,
that Keyon would
hugged her,
choose
kissed
her
her
over
on
his
the lips.
fiancée.
After that,
They
he ran
presented
inside to see if he could
forensic
find
evidence,
anybody, but the
witness
question
testimonies, phone records,
and the
and letters
statement
that
that
Carla
has
wrote to
everybody here at
Keyon
the
from
courthouse
jail.
talking.
The defense
He
tried to
says
cast doubt
he
on the
didn't
evidence
call
and
911
suggested
on
that
his cell
Keyon was the
phone. He
real
says he
killer
ran
who
next
framed
door
Carla.
and used used the
They
neighbor's
pointed out
phone
that
to call
Keyon had no
911. He
alibi
says
for the time of
his
the murder,
phone is a
and that he had
nationwide
lied
phone
to the
and can't
police about
make
his
local
affair.
calls.
They also claimed that Carla was a victim of domestic violence by Keyon, who allegedly abused her physically and emotionally. They said that Carla was too scared of Keyon to kill his fiancée, but the jury didn't buy it. They found Carla guilty on both counts of capital murder after less than 3 hours of deliberation. She was sentenced to death by lethal injection. Keyon was never charged with any crime related to the murder of Avis Banks. He maintained his innocence throughout the trial and said he regretted cheating on Avis. He also said he forgave Carla for what she did, but he hoped she would find peace with God. Carla Hughes is currently on death row at the Central Mississippi Correctional Facility in Rankin County. She is one of 2 women facing execution in Mississippi. She has appealed her conviction several times, but so far without success.
All right, the court, having reviewed the verdicts, finds that they are in the one of the forms allowed by the instructions. If the defendant would please rise. Relative to count 1, the verdict is, we, the jury, find the
She still
defendant,
claims
Carla
she is
Hughes,
innocent and says she loves
guilty of
Keyon
capital
despite
murder as
everything.
charged
That's all for
in
today's
count 1
video.
of the indictment.
I hope you enjoyed this true crime story. If you
Relative to
did,
count
please
2,
give this video a thumbs up
verdict
and
is,
subscribe to my channel
we, the
for more
jury, find the
content like
defendant,
this.
Carla
Also,
Hughes,
let me know in the
guilty
comments
of
what you
capital
think of this
murder as
case.
charged in
Do you think
count
Carla
2 of
Hughes
the
deserves the
indictment.
death penalty? Do you think Keyon Pittman should have been charged as
Would you
well?
like the jury poll?
What do you think motivated Carla to
All
kill
right.
Avis Banks? Thank
Y'all
you
may
for
be
watching,
seated.
and I'll see you next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, in any case where a jury is reached, it is customary for the judge to poll the jury to see if the verdict is a unanimous verdict. And